take off fast, then put his brakes on and almost come to a dead stop, and did that to numerous times. And thank God a state patrol officer was, coming up behind me. Of course, he didn't see what was going on, but the guy saw the state patrol car, and then he took off, and that was the end of it. But the guy was definitely trying to have somebody hit him.
Yeah, and you would think in this day and age now, with everybody having some kind of recording device on them, even cars have recording devices now, people aren't going to get away with this stuff. You're going to get recorded. You're going to get filmed, your car, your plate, your face. So you're not going to get away with it.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's a lot of strange things out there. We have road rage like you wouldn't believe. You got to be careful out there. I mean, especially, nowadays more than ever. I mean, you don't know the condition of somebody's mind and, and what they're thinking of. Or somebody just might be in a brain stump and, and not be even paying attention and rear end you. I don't know. I don't like going on the freeways. My wife has to do that every day. She has to go 90 miles on the freeway. And I tell you what, I wouldn't want to do that.
No, that's a long way every day. You're really, the odds would go up that, you're going to come across some crazy or a wreck. And, semi-trailers, that bar they have on the back, that was put into law, that lower bar on the back of the trailers because of the accident Jane Mansfield had.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Who our guest is tomorrow, James?
Yes, I do. Tomorrow is going to be Dr. Bruce Maccabee.
Oh,
now, listen, he's one of the, I call him one of the grandfathers of UFOs, man. He's on the ground floor of that stuff. He's been researching data, and he's very scientific, and he's got some really great papers and articles on a lot of famous events that have happened, and he's always got good stuff to talk about.
Oh, yeah. He has some great books you can check out on Amazon. I mean, the guy is very credible. I call him like one of the godfathers, which, I'm right behind him in age, but, he has really proved that there is something going on. Again, like with the Nimitz video. He said when he was on the show the last time, it was no way it could be anything we have technology-wise, because it was moving at such a high rate of speed and coming to an instant stop and then going to another, direction. Anything else that G-force would have been liquefied in the walls of the spacecraft, actually, if the spacecraft didn't disintegrate.
Absolutely. And, he's famous, too, for writing that article and with a lot of research from the case in Australia, I think in 78 or 79, where the plane and the pilot disappeared. They just vanished.
Well, there's been a lot of those. And who knows? Look at that airliner. It disappeared a few years ago with all the people on it. They first thought maybe it crashed in the ocean, but they never found any trace of it.
That's true. That's right. And that's weird because they all got black boxes. And in today's technology, you would think for sure that something would come up with that.
Maybe it got picked up by aliens.
It could be. Or maybe it hit one of them time loops, time warps or something.
Yeah. Could you imagine going back 100 or 200 or 1,000 years?
Oh, wouldn't that be something? Yeah. You go back 2,000 years and you got all this, you got a cell phone, all this technology, but it's all useless.
Oh, by the way, people have been messaging me like mad from a photo that somebody's been sharing on Facebook. It's been going on for years, of a German soldier with a cell phone in his hand. I'm going to debunk that right now. That was a picture taken when they were making a World War II movie. And it was just an actor, one of the whatever you call those actors, that don't really have a part. They're just there, to make extras. The movie extras, right? He was just undoubtedly on his cell phone, looking probably at his text messages like a lot of people do. But that wasn't a picture that was taken during World War II. I'm sorry. And the reason why I know that, I seen a couple years ago where somebody debunked it. They showed the scene, what movie it was and all that stuff. But you know what? Everybody has to do stuff like that. It's a big thing, to, put fake stuff up on media.
Yeah, every day. Recently there's been a lot of, I hate to say it, just what I call fake Bigfoot videos and pictures. It's just been an enclave of them recently.
Yeah, and that's what's interesting. There's a lot of them out there that, how can I say it? It's just, I think a lot of them are fake. But we have Jeff Bullwine coming on February 24th. Now, he's coming on, basically, he's an expert in, ufology of videos and pictures and going through and debunking stuff and all that. We're going to be talking a little bit about, those UFOs out of Las Vegas.
Oh, that sounds interesting. I can't wait for that one.
Yeah, he says that they're not real.
Well, it's interesting because I've did a lot of research there too, and I did find that they do periodically have a special helicopter that has more stuff than most helicopters, and they search for radiation throughout the hills there. They
do that because I called the flight tower at the Las Vegas International Airport and talked to one of the controllers, and he said that goes on about once a month with the military. They're checking for radiation around the mountains there because years ago they used to detonate, atomic weapons around there.
Oh, wow.
So just think about this, though. If there were UFOs almost like every other day around the mountainsides of Las Vegas, that would make it the most hottest place in the world for UFOs, number one. But don't you think that the military, because there's an international airport, you know how many flights come in and out of there? Commercial flights? Tons every day. Now, you think they're going to allow a plane to take off and land if there's UFOs circulating around the mountains a couple miles away from the airport? That's not going to happen. And when I talked to the controller, he broke out laughing. He said, you know what? If there were UFOs around the mountains of Las Vegas, the military would be dispatching their fighters out there. They wouldn't be dispatching helicopters to go look at UFOs. They would have their, jets, because there's a couple Air Force bases very close by. It wouldn't take more than a couple minutes, 2-3 minutes, and they could have a fighter scrambled and check in the area. But that's not happening.
Well, especially in this day and age with all the terrorism and stuff, it wouldn't take much. For, you got that stuff around major airport and stuff, they're going to be out there checking that out, I would think.
Well, you know what? I analyzed one of the videos, and you can clearly see it's a helicopter. The helicopter comes to a stop. You can see it, when you analyze it, you can see it's a helicopter. And then it flies forward, a short distance. It stops again, and it keeps doing this whole cycle on this whole side of this mountain ridge. And what it's doing is checking for radiation. That's what it's doing. Now, I'm not saying the guy's a hoaxer. It's doing it. I'm not saying that at all. Maybe he does have some pictures of UFOs, but I'm saying a lot of the stuff he's getting is not UFOs. And I know that's going to cause people to go, oh my God. Okay, but no, it's true. And it gives ufology a bad name. But if I could go out there, I've had guests on the show that claim that, they had friends they went out there outside and they saw UFOs, and his friend could just point his finger and make that UFO go any direction he wants with his finger. It's like finger remote control with these aliens.
Or decloak them.
Yeah. Decloak them. Yeah. Or they go out to the woods. Every single time they go out in the woods, they see a Bigfoot. Or they go out in the woods and they see little people and all this stuff. There's people out there, maybe they want it so bad they see it in their head.
Yeah, I get news from people always say, I want to see this. You better be careful what you wish for, because sometimes you don't want to see them. I mean, look at your event when you came across Bigfoot.
I don't even like thinking about it but again, it's funny. Okay? I offered to take a polygraph test numerous times to, back up my story. But all these Bigfoot hunters will, send me messages. They've never seen a Bigfoot. But they come back and say, oh, you're a hoaxer. Oh, am I? I don't think so. I'm telling you what I saw. You think because you never saw one, you're just listening to the crap that you hear from everybody else that heard the crap from somebody else who heard the crap from somebody else. And you know the expression, crap flows downhill.
Yep, sure do. and not only that, you think that you would purposely throw a rock and damage your wife's brand new car and have to try to explain that to her? Hello?
Oh, no, actually what I did, okay, I hit a telephone pole and I took out her door and fender. So I came up with a story that Bigfoot threw a rock. Oh, come on. Okay, the world's flat too, by the way.
Oh,
by the way, I was also looking at one of NASA, what do you call it, live links or feeds from the space station, right? Mm-hmm. Aren't these guys who are claiming the world is flat, don't they ever look at those things?
Well, they just say that.
Well, I'm just saying if they did, you could see the curvature of the Earth from the space station.
Yeah, and they would just say NASA's, playing with the pictures or something. But I got news for you. If you believe in science, go in the ocean. You can only see about 22.2 miles or something like that because of the curvature of the Earth. It's just science.
I know. But you know what? I remember my grandfather, before he passed on, he'd come over to say hi to him. And he'd put his book down for a couple minutes and talk to you. And you say, boy, the sun is out today. It's nice. No, it's not. It's going to rain. It's cloudy outside. And you go, wow, gee, Ralph, when was the last time you've been out on your porch and looked outside? I mean, it's like 80-some degrees. There's not a cloud in the sky. I mean, what I'm saying is there's people out there, whatever you say, they're going to come back, and it's the opposite. That's all.
Yeah, yep. And I always say this, too, that if somebody wants to see something, they're going to see it, whether it's there or not, because they want to see it.
Yeah, well, I can honestly tell you, the world is not flat. Okay? We already know that. Otherwise, we wouldn't, guess what? Our baseballs would not be round either. They'd be flat. You ever try to hit a flat baseball? It'd be really hard. Or have you ever tried to do a dunk in a basketball net with a square ball?
Here's another piece of science for you, Gary. On this, on the upper half of the equator, on this side of the equator, the water goes down the drain, I believe, clockwise. And on the lower half of the equator, people live on the other half, it goes counterclockwise. Now, that's
not
science.
True. That's not true. That is a rumor from Flat Earth.
Okay, Gary.
Okay, I'm just joking with you.
Okay, Gary. But seriously, there's science. That's why left-handers throw a bigger curveball on this side of the equator, where right-handers throw a bigger curveball below the equator because of the rotation of the Earth. Playing round.
Yeah. Interesting. And the magnetic field keeps moving and moving and moving at a higher rate. Antarctica is melting at a faster pace than they ever thought is, normal. But we're not hearing about that right now because of what's going on in Washington, D.C. Good coverage, huh? It gets your mind off of, UFOs. It gets your minds off of Earth changes and all that stuff. Well, you know what? On our show, we're not going to cover it up.
We're not going to be distracted.
No, we're not.
No, we're going to go right for the meat and potatoes.
A big shout out to all the truckers listening. Again, a big thank you to Tom and Metatron Power and Light to take the time out to, pass out those CDs that we play his music on our show as bumper music and to go out and let truckers know about us. I mean, a lot of truck stops are already starting to play our show, and he wants to, even increase that. So I want to thank Tom and the band from the bottom of my heart for what they did today to go out and hit truck stops and hand out the card with www.nightdreamstalkradio.com, handing them a CD with all their music. I just want to say thank you. I appreciate it. And
absolutely.
And a big shout out to Dreamland, who just clicked on chat. I hope you had a great weekend. Anyway, we're going to go on break, and when we come back, we'll, after the news, we're going to have Barry Taff on. Not the singer, but the guy who's investigated 4,500 plus cases.